Alright, welcome to the stream. If you're new here, my name is Daisuke. I am the lead programmer for Asheville Clock Tower Studios, and today we'll be doing some more game development spotlight. So we're going to be starting here. I'm actually already in the middle of working on something, and I'm going to just pick up on that project on stream here. We are currently working on creating a ranged enemy out of, not that guy, this guy. So this is a Kotakayan gunner. He will be using a rifle to try and attack us. I am currently working on creating the ability for him to shoot at us. So we'll be working on that. Let me get around to the front of him again real quick. Let's go see what I was currently doing. Where's my Alt tab? There we go. So I've currently got his montage of him shooting, which can be seen here. Pretty neat. What we're going to do is we're going to create a projectile for him to shoot, and then just after the sound occurs, probably right around here somewhere, we're going to spawn the bullet from in front of him, which is where the gun would be. I'll have to ask about the lack of a gun. I think he just needs to have a gun equipped for it to show. I'm not positive. We will figure that out. But for now, I'm getting the actual functionality part set up. The visibility of the gun and stuff is something I can worry about later. So we'll have him spawn a bullet in front of where his hands are, where the rifle would be. The gun is on his back right now. It's interesting. He doesn't seem to... I'm guessing it's not like a real item or anything then, because he doesn't move it to his hands or have it, I don't think. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't when I actually play. Let me go take a look. But I noticed it didn't seem like he was drawing the gun unless I just missed it. I mean, I don't think I got close enough to notice, but... Yeah, no, it looks like it's still on his back. He does... Yeah, he doesn't have the gun drawn. And it looks like he's not actually... Yeah, he's not actually, like, doing anything with it. And then when he tries to do the montage, he's, like, in a different one, so he doesn't actually get to... He tries to get over there and then get back, and it gets, like, a weird little hop glitch thing. He gets stuck when he's set up to jump backward. Ah, that's interesting. I know he's still stuck from before. I think all the enemies are still stuck in place, which is quite fine by me. But he is doing the sound, and he is trying to play the montage, which means that's at least working. So we just need to make the projectile, make it shoot at us, and then we'll have to figure out the gun pulling and holding part down the road. Yeah, I'm guessing it's part of his BT for him to... if I can spell. .6% chance in range target, nothing behind, roll backward. So I'm guessing that's his roll, is like that attempt to hop like that. Jog, run, move. Try and shoot, patrol. Yep. Okay. I did make a change here. I actually just remapped his shooting into the light attack so that when he does his light attack, he shoots, because that is his basic attack, is shooting. So I figured, why not? It makes it easy, it makes it simple, and it lets me call the normal melee attack, light attack animations and whatnot. Like use the montage getter to get the right montage and everything without having to jump through hoops for it. If in approach. So what I'll do is, once he's like up and running and everything, I'll move these over, and we will just create a separate set of combat actions to be taken here when he's not in melee range. So, range attack. So if range attack is true, he does the range attack, and if not, he would do his normal melee attack. And then approach would be here, and then flee would be here. Actually, I think approach is supposed to be all the way at the end, because you want him more... I'd have to look on the tree, but... Yeah, melee would just go in the center section here. He has 2 tables of montages, melee and gun. That'll require a little more doing, I guess. Wonder what that's all about. Let me see. Gun, melee, and gun. Gun, melee, and gunner. Disarm, stun, front, heavy attack, block, impact, special attack, parry, backstab, draw weapon. I'm wondering if I might not need 2 tables, I might just need the one. Because I could just put everything into one table together and call that whole table. We'll figure it out. I know for now I just want to make sure that the projectile is working because that's the next thing on my checklist of things to get up. So let's drop this for now, and I don't need the BT for now. Let's get back to working on this where we were. So we should have the bullet already shooting. Sure. Gotcha. Alright, so let's see. We've got this. I've made this cylinder visible so that for now this cylinder will function as our bullet. I do want to see if I have anything like a metal. So we're going to look and see what I've got for a different metal. Like a, maybe, not like a shiny, maybe like a rusty one. Let's just try metal and see what comes up. Because at the very least, if it gives me like the specular values and all these things, that'd be fine. I think that'll be fine just like that. It'll reflect light, which will be nice because it'll actually look like something moving in the dark with lights hitting it and everything. That should be sufficient for the moment. And then what we'll do is we'll change that. We'll leave the collision the way that it is because the handler is going to handle that. So now that we have our bullet has our velocity set here. Actually, I got to make sure the projectile movement is set up correctly. We're going to want a max speed of a high number, probably like 6 grand, so that it moves like more like a bullet. And then what we'll do is the initial speed, we'll set that to like 5,500 and give it a little wiggle room. Alright, so we've got this thing set up to shoot now, so let's go see. It does this. We will not be enabling homing projectile because it is a bullet, and as such I don't see any reason why it should be doing any kind of homing. The increased speed of the projectile should help compensate for the homing. Because it is a bullet and it moves quickly, there shouldn't be any reason for it to be homing in on a target. But the speed will mean that it'll be less likely to miss you because of it. Actually, this entire homing projectile thing this is all part of update homing projectile. That can just go. And new function was homing as well. Alright, let's go look at the on hit. So ideally it's going to function the same as a lot of our other projectiles. It does kind of make sense that it would home in on a target. Why would a bullet home in on a target? Like once it shoots forward, it would go forward. I mean, I'll put it all back if that's the desire. Why wouldn't it? I've never heard of a bullet in my life that homed in on a target once it left the barrel. I'll put it back. Let's see. Bend graph. Alright. Set sphere is yep, this is all the same on hit. Don't attack self-owner. Let's see. We gotta make sure this stuff should all be pretty much the same. We're just gonna change the sound. Let's see. Hit particle and hit sound can change. Damage type we can leave as normal. Weapon class. Think about how guns work when locked in on Bloodborne, for example. Yeah, I'm pretty sure even in games like Bloodborne and stuff, if you shoot at someone who's like running left or right, the bullet's not going to curve towards them. It's going to go straight from where you shoot. Yeah, the homing would be like the Taken bullets, where like I shoot at a guy and he's running left, and my bullet does like a to him, which feels really loopy for a gun. Let's see. Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Alright, so the damage is still doing... The hit actor is the character. Yep, because this is an enemy version of the script. Got it. Let's see. We don't use that for anything. So really it's just particle sound. And it's all... I thought there was something that wasn't plugged in. Let me see. Hit sound, hit particle, location, component, apply impulse. I thought there was something missing somewhere, but I don't think so. No, it's all here. Okay, so let's see what we got. Hit particle. Well, we don't want a water hit for our bullets. That would be kind of weird. I think the impact one that we were using already should be pretty good. I believe it's this one. KY underscore. Let's go look at that one and just make sure that's a decent looking one. Again, these things are all probably going to be changed later on. But given that I'm on stream, I try to make it at least look sort of nice. Did it pop? Oh, there it is. It's a little more explosion-y than I would like. I mean, that's a little better without, like, the explosion, I guess. What part is this adding to it? What if I take explosion out and that gives me just the lines, right? Yeah, it's not quite noticeable by itself, though. No, we'll leave it as is for now. It can always be tweaked, and we can make a duplicate of this and change it or something. And then hit sound, let's go look at that. What do we want to do for a bullet hitting? Well, let's just look for impact first and see what I find. Anything cool? Water waves, tidal impacts. That one doesn't sound bad. And again, it's kind of a placeholder. That'll work for now. Great weapon class. I guess we'll leave that at finesse for now. You can always tweak that later. Alright, so we have a projectile that... Forgot about the noise on that guy. So we have a projectile that shoots. So we're going to have to make another projectile style. I think I should be able to use this one and just change it off of which projectile it's spawning if I have that as a variable, which I don't, of course. Let's notify. Take a look. Ability to cast. Let's open that up. Ability weapon. Oh, that's right, because it's not spawning. That's right. It's not spawning the projectile anymore. Now it's actually casting back to the ability. So I don't know if I have anything that spawns a projectile anymore. I don't think I do anymore. I think we got rid of... I think I replaced them when I redid the system. Because it would either be... Rosethorn wasn't one either. And Impaler wasn't one either. It was Venom. And that one is no longer... It now calls to the ability. Okay, so what we'll have to do is we'll make a new notify. So let's go see what I got. Let's go grab one of the ones we already have. Find where we're going. And we'll make a new one in here. This will be... And I'm probably just blind and not seeing it. So we'll just duplicate one of these guys. Much faster than trying to figure out where the listing is for it. AN underscore projectile. So we'll go in here. We won't need ability to cast. Well, I guess I'll see where it's using it first, because it shouldn't be using it anywhere I care about, but I'll have to probably scrap the old script first. Okay, so this can go away. We're going to spawn actor from class. We're going to want the rotation of the mesh Get world rotation. Actually, I think I should just be able to do... I can't do exactly the transform, but I might be able to get away with... Let's see where because he's going to shoot it around here somewhere. So most likely, if he has a socket in his hand anywhere... Let's see, what do we have in here for sockets in hand? Of course he's not going to be during the animation when I go look, so that's not going to help too much. Skeleton tree. So let's look at his left hand and see. That's a little lower than where I would want it, but that might get the job done. And that's a little out there still. Not one of the fingers. So the hand is too far up. I can't pull the mesh yet because the mesh does not yet have... That was a rat gun socket. Is that going to be in a pretty good spot? Yeah, that actually might be just fine. So right here at this instance, that rat gun socket is in a great position for this. So we'll get sockety. That's what I'm looking for, yeah. Get socket transform. The socket I'm looking for is rat gun with a capital G. Rat gun. We're looking for the world. And we're going to grab that. The class is going to be the type of projectile that we are doing. So we're going to do this as projectile to spawn. Let's see if we can make this just an actor. I don't think I really need to dig too far in. Well, I guess it would be better if I could actually make it... Let me go look at something. Because if it's got its own parent class, that would actually make things a little easier. Venom, special projectile, projectile. I think I called it bullet. Yeah, it's all the way up here somewhere. Bullet projectile enemy is a child of just actor. Okay, so it's going to have to be actor then. Which is fine. Just a bigger list to scroll through, that's all. So we'll pop that open. We'll drop this in and get it, and we'll set it here. I'll leave the default as none. But for this particular one, we're going to be doing bullet. Alright, so we've got this spawning the bullet at the location, rotation, and scale of the hand. I'm going to have to look, though, because I can't spawn it where his hand is. I technically could, but there's a possibility that players might notice the bullet starting partway back in the gun and traveling forward. So what I'll probably do for now, but if I change it, I don't know where the gun's exactly going to be sitting other than in his hand, kind of. I could try and move it in world space. What are we looking at here? He's facing the y-axis, so I could add a little bit to the y. Let's do that just to be safe for now. So we'll break this rotation. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, I see that socket. That socket's definitely going to come in handy for this. I'll be using that to spawn the bullet here. Not too much, Alexis. We are currently doing, we are currently creating a projectile for our gunners to shoot at us. And then we're going to hopefully get him up and running to the point where he at least shoots at us, even if his gun doesn't want to cooperate. Let's see. So let's break the transform. For location, I'm going to be doing a little math here. Actually, I'm not sure if I'm doing math. I think I am. Just for ha-has, let me see. It has an XYZ relative location. What if I drag it this way? the Y value has decreased. Oh, I didn't know you were going to start playing again when I put you back. So we're going to want to subtract. Actually, I should have looked to see exactly how far I want it out. So let's put the bullet spawning, like, say, here. That way, if it spawns in the barrel of the gun, it's not really that big of a deal. I'm at we'll go minus 40 to be safe. And he's going to get loud again. So we'll do minus 40. So we'll take this location. We'll do vector. Oops, I wanted vector minus vector. Vector minus vector. And we're going to subtract 40. Oops, I actually need to leave that at 40, don't I? Because it's a subtraction, not an addition. We're going to then make a transoform. Make transform out of the initial rotation we had, the initial scale that we had, and this updated version of our location. So we'll pop that in there. Move you over so that you're not so gross looking. See if we can get it to look a little prettier. Not bad. It gets the point across. I like it. Alright. So when we call the notify, we spawn the actor at the location. Great. Cloud over and the enemy keeps throwing me off, making me think I'm under fire. Yeah, the gunshots thing. Oh man, that is really funny. Okay, so we have that set up like we want it. Now we just need to pop in here, and just after the sound, we're going to put a notify. We're going to do a notify for projectile, and it should allow me to change which projectile we're spawning. A recording actor. That is not what I need. Let's go take a look at that again. Ah, I didn't actually pick actor. I picked a recording actor. Go figure. This class reference. Yes, I'd like to change variable type. That'd be great. Thank you. I would like to refresh this node and rewire it. Awesome. Okay, so now it looks like we should be spawning. Well, once I set it to actually. Let's go find the bullet. And let's see, AI effect, bullet, ability effect, bullet, projectile, enemy version. Not that we haven't player version yet, but let's see. So there's our bullet. It looks like that should be just fine. I wonder if it'll actually do what it used to do where it would spawn them in the animation. It did, but it looks like they are not quite where I want them to be, if I'm not missing my guess here. Yeah, they're kind of behind him, aren't they? And they're moving on their own. That's bizarre. Wonder why they're drifting. Might just because I paused the montage or something weird, or they're hitting each other or something. Well, anyway, so that minus probably needs to be flipped. And let's turn this into a plus 40. Vector plus vector. We'll do 40 on the Y. Plug it back in. Compile. Go see if it's at least putting it in front of his hands where I want it. Looks pretty good. It's basically, it should start moving the minute it spawns anyway, so it should look much better when it's actually coming out of him in the game. Let's go see if he'll shoot me. He might not shoot me because it looks like he's having a bit of a problem playing the montage all the way, but I think I'll still get shot. I guess we'll find out. Yes and no. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. I need to go look at the spawn position for that bullet. I see what's happening. So I'm using the socket transform, but the socket doesn't use the world. So I need to get the rotation not from the socket, but from like the mesh directly. Because what's happening is it's oh, that's not the right thing. It's using the socket's rotation, and if you go look at the socket, and I put it back on the socket's, like the the object space, you can see it's got this angle here. So it's pulling the socket's pointing down right now, not forward. So what I need to do is I need to actually use the vanilla world version of it. So if this is the socket's transform, I don't need its rotation. I need the main character, the actual character. I should be able to get, oh, I don't know why I was getting get rotation. I need the world rotation for this guy, and we're going to plug that in here instead. And hopefully that should make the bullets fire straight now, because it's using his rotation, which is just straightforward. Let's go see if I'm right. Okay, yes and no. So they are coming out of him, but they are shooting 90 degrees to the right, to the left. Interesting. Let me go take a look. So his world rotation, he's looking straight at me. I wonder if there's something with the mesh that's making it not shoot straight or something. Location seemed to be fine, but the rotation was off. Hey, what's going on? Let me try. Instead of get world rotation, no, it would be world rotation. So if it was shooting 90 degrees off, I should just be able to plug that in. I'll have to break this first probably, and then I'd have to rotate him along the z-axis. So let's try adding 90 to his, oh yeah, I forgot you can't do it that way. Vector, vector, let's add 90 to z. Actually, shouldn't I be able to just plug this right into here? Yes. Get rotation, plug it in, plug it into rotation, make the rotating vector. I'll have to clean up the positioning of these guys a little more so that they're not so ugly. But I can tweak the numbers until I get it to shoot straight, which will be important. So bizarre that it was shooting 90 degrees. Nope, so Z was the wrong axis, because he is now shooting up. Yeah, definitely. Definitely hang around, give us a lurk. Definitely appreciate it. So Z is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for... That's so weird. He must be like tilted or something. Well, let's just keep messing with the numbers till we get it to work. We'll do 90 on Y and see what we get here. Now he's shooting in the other direction? That doesn't make a lot of sense. How could a 90 degree change be shooting him 180 degrees? Are we sure that it was shooting sideways? Definitely looked like it, right? Such bizarre nonsense. It's almost like he's turned funny somehow so that the game thinks he's 90 degrees. Yeah, he's definitely shooting into that wall. Okay. So he's shooting sideways. It could be. That's just bizarre that when I added 90 to the Z, he went up. So then I returned it, and then I added 90 to Y, and he was somehow shooting 180 degrees that way. But that doesn't make any sense. How could 90 degrees there have caused that big of a... Maybe because it's rotating from X? Let me see. Let's drop a 90 in here and see if this turns it around for us. Nope, that didn't have any impact on it at all. That's bizarre. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll drop this whole setup of doing this, and let's break it the hard way. Instead of into the X version, let's just break it the hard way. And add 90 outright. So we'll add vector plus vector, we'll add 90 to the Z. I'm gonna need a little more room here for this nonsense. So we'll do that, we'll make a rotator. Make rotation from axes where we've got forward, right, and up. I've never seen it listed that way. It's usually listed make rotator. There we go. Interesting that it wants to. Oh, maybe it broke. That's interesting. Why would it break into vectors like that? Oh, because I didn't break it the right way. Okay, that's on me. Fully accept the responsibility for the fact that I broke it into the wrong thing. Let's see if this fix will fix it. Oh boy, fun times. Yep, I see the archer base in here. I've been working with it from there. Let's see. Adapted for gun, yeah, absolutely. The best kind of an archer. Adapted for gun. Okay, so a bit of a yes and no situation. He's not facing straight at me. So the odds of him hitting me are pretty slim, it feels like. Okay. So since he's not directly facing me, I'll have to actually target our player with the transform instead. Let's see. I could set up an effect for the gunshot, sort of like I did with the other abilities. Because I won't necessarily have... I won't have a player passed in by the notify. I could get... I might be able to get the nearest... No, it's probably not going to let me do that. Get nearest... I don't think I can do it in a note. Oh yeah, I can. Get closest actor. Let's see if I can make an array of... Let's see. Make sure this is something we can use in the future. So this is going to have to be an array of... Not like that. I'll have to get all actors of class. And the class would have to be our combat character. So it's going to find all the players. And then out of all the players, it's going to find the closest one. This is still a little messy, isn't it? I'll have to make a note to come back and work on this sometime in the future if I do it this way, because this could have a problem where if there was a player behind the enemy who was closer than the player in front, it would shoot at the one in front, but the bullet would target the player behind. Well, you know what? Actually, let me see something real quick. Because if the owner of the mesh is in fact the... Because it should have a targeting component. So let's see. If I go to Coda, cast to Coda Gunner. Should have a targeting component still, I believe. Root component, target widgets. I don't need widgets. I mean, it's a component, but it's not what I'm looking for. Get target widget. I don't think that's what I need. I don't think the widgets help. Let me go look at something real quick. I just want to see, because I made an ability effect for some of the enemy's attacks for targeting the player. And I just want to go look and see how, let's say, the Hydro Tornado locks onto our player. I'm pretty sure it does pull from get target. Oop, I don't need this. I need the ability that calls. So I need the ability itself, because this is what spawns it. So it spawns at the effect transform, and the effect transform, according to this, is, yeah, get target. Okay. Okay, so this is a child of ability AI, which is going to be attached to an AI, so which is why I can get target. That's why. Okay, so then what I'll probably have to do is make an ability for shooting, and just have the montage call the ability. Yeah, probably the same thing like we do with this thing where we spawn the ability. The ability is in charge of spawning the actual projectile. I think it's going to be the way that it has to go. So the event effect is what starts the actual effect. Let me go look at the montage that does this. Should be... Oh, you know what? It's not a it's the Mage AI has a trigger in the behavior. Let me see. So Hydro Ball is right here. Ability AI Hydro Ball. Let's see. Receive execute unended abort. Ability attack. Update the ability. Update pressed. Update released. The ability is the one that we picked. The component is grabbed from the... Okay, so it grabs the component. Okay. So what I can probably do is just set it up like I have this set up. Let's see. I don't need that one anymore. Let's go look at how the ball does the call. Hydro Ball, enemy projectile, comes off of ability AI Hydro Ball. Yep, transform does all that for me, which is great. So what I need to do is... Okay, so let's go tweak his behavior. We'll start there. I'll have to make everything else first. So we make an ability for the bullet. We make a projectile, which we already have. So we make the ability spawn the projectile instead of the notify. Then we just use the same notify that the other ones use. Let's see. Shouldn't need that anymore. Bullet projectile enemy. So the projectile is already fine. That shouldn't need to change. So let's see what the other notify that I did was for the other one. Let's see. It's the ability effect one, I believe. No, it can't be that one, because the one that I have has the ability to pick which actor you're doing. Let me see. Paler, spawn. Wasn't the throw item one? Ah, yep, so it's the rose thorn one is the one that I can use. Because I can just change it to, instead of being the rose thorn, it would be the ability for something else. So this calls the ability for the rose thorn. Okay. So in his montage, we're going to replace this with a notify for the rose thorn, but we're going to change it so it's not doing rose thorn. It's going to be doing. We'll have to make an ability for. Oh, but this one only does weapons. Oh, right. So I do probably need ability effect, and I'll just have to tweak it. Yep, so this will do ability effect. So I'll have to just... Put myself in circles here with this one. I don't need his skeleton. The projectile works just like it is, so that part's fine. So I would need... If this was the notify, it would... Get the ability component, check if it was valid, spawn the ability effect. Okay. Let's go find the abilities. Ability AI. We have one that does similar, which is the AI Hydro Tornado or Hydro Ball. We'll do the ball one for now since it's similar. So we'll duplicate this and we'll do AI underscore bullet. Ability AI bullet. Well, let's go take a peek in here. Everything should be the same except this needs to spawn our bullet. We're going to have to probably refresh this because it's probably looking for different information here. Refresh nodes, yep. Cool, compile. Great, not yelling about anything anymore. Alright, so it should do the same thing as the Hydro Ball. It should get the player's location and shoot at them. Cool, let's give that a shot. So this spawns the bullet does its thing. The event effect gets called by the notify, which is right here. I feel like I'm still missing something to call the initial ability. Let me just go see. I feel like there's something missing still. I think that's what's throwing me for a loop. Yeah, the montage is playing, but it doesn't seem to be actually getting the ability or something. So let me see. you here. Let me see what the projectile one does. That's the one that I made for the bullet. Okay, okay, this is this one. So it's, oh, I mean, that's probably part of it. This isn't wired to do anything. Oh, I'm not using this one anymore, that's why, duh. Right, right. So, let's tweak this to actually do what we want it to do. And we'll set this one. Which, I mean, it should be very similar to this, except for I'm going to want to... Actually, it should just be this one. I shouldn't really need projectile at all. Let's compile it and knock it out for now. I can always scrap it if I don't really need it in the end. So what caused this to not find an ability? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Probably because when he attacks. So we need to go into the blueprint for the Coda Gunner. So let's see. Welcome back. Actually, it'd be easier to just click on this guy and go from here. Then we're going to need the parent, the base AI. So this should be doing... He doesn't ever call the ability because I built that function into the weapons. All right, let us see if we can actually do that notification from scratch the way I was going to before. Projectile. So let's have this. We don't need this variable, but we will do not projectile the spawn, but we'll call this effect call. And we'll spawn actor from class. Can I actually even delay in these? Let me see. No, I cannot. Take it easy. Have a good night. So we're going to be calling the AE bullet projectile enemy ability. Initial speed, sure. Lifetime is fine. Damage is great. Actually, lifetime doesn't even need to be that long because it's... No, yeah, we'll leave it where it was actually. That's fine. Speed at 5500 is good. Damage doesn't have to be set because it'll set damage inside. No homing targets, apply stuns, no instigators. Spawn transform. It doesn't matter where it spawns because it's going to... The ability will spawn the bullet in the correct place. Okay, let's see. It's going to yell at me about transform, so I'm going to split the pin and still leave it blank. And it'll be suddenly happy that I left zeros instead of nothing. Alright, so we'll spawn the build project enemy ability when... Yeah, I can plug this. I can plug in the owner, the get owner of this, and see if that'll plug into the... Nope, doesn't like it for instigator. That's fine. Well then, doesn't need to be there. Not like it's going to matter. It's not doing anything. This is literally just going to spawn our bullet for us. So this notify I don't need. I'm going to use the projectile notify. And what I will do is we will make this effect call plug in here so that you can set which projectile you want to call with it. Refresh nodes, great. Compile. Great. Everything looks like it worked out. So AN projectile is the one that I want here. AN projectile. And I should be able to pick off the list that I want it to do my bullet. AE bullet projectile enemy. Nope, not that one. I need the AI bullet. That, oh, okay, so I did have it wrong. Ability AI bullet is what I want. Which means in here, I'm probably going to have to compile and then tweak something. No, okay, cool, that's fine. Good. The bullet looks good. The gunner seems fine. So this ability effect notify will call AI ability bullet. This will set up the transform for the bullet and then spawn the bullet. The bullet seems to be working just fine. Let's close all this out and see what goes wrong. Play from here. Not seeing bullets. Alright, so let's go one at a time and see what's going on. Accident trying to read ability, event graph, set character. Show me this event graph that had an error. Set character. Get the ability component, get the character, set the character. That's peculiar. Shouldn't really be calling the ability at all, I don't think. Let me see. AI bullet, something like that. Let's see if this is actually getting hit. So instead of event released, let's do begin play here. So when it's created, it should play the montage, which is right here. What montage do we have set for that? Oh, right. Okay, so we'll set that. We'll put this as the... So he's doing the montage from the behavior, though. Right, because the attack usually triggers the montage, and the montage usually triggers the effect part. So begin play, start the ability, start the timer, update sockets. So I don't really need all that. I kind of just need the effect part almost. Yeah, let me go see if I can... Go find our projectile notification. So it spawns the actor. So then this doesn't even need to play the montage. This could... So that can go. Oops. When casted, use left-hand socket. So I don't need either of these either. I don't need this section. I don't need this section. I need the effect adjust. I don't need this. This can just become begin play. So as soon as that happens, it updates the effect, it spawns the ability, it does the stop timer. We're not consuming mana, so that can go away. And I'm not stopping timer either, that can go away. And then once it spawns the bullet, we destroy actor self. So it should spawn our bullet and then move on, like blow itself up and be done. Damage won't matter. Compile. Oh, that's not helping. This is not set to projectile like it should be. Bullet projectile enemy. Okay, so maybe I could have left damage where it was, but it's not going to matter if damage goes in at 0. And it's going to yell at me about the ability component, so I'll have to give it a second. Refresh the nodes. I don't need the target anymore. Transform is set up here. Okay, so it'll spawn this. This will begin play, update effect, do the transform. Transform gets fed into this, creates the bullet at that location. This actor, the ability, blows itself up, and the bullet lives on to do bullet things. Seems good on paper. Let's try it out. Okay, let's move this over so I can see the game while I do it. Notify is received, frame skip, spawns the actor. Ability AI bullet. Okay, so let's open ability AI bullet and open begin play. Let's see if it catches there. It does catch there. Frame skip to the update effect. Let's go to the spawn. It goes to spawn the bullet. So let's go look at the bullet. Actually, we'll leave that one there. We'll stop here, go here, stop there, go here, and hit stop. And then we're going to it read none trying to set the effect transform. Well, I'll have to look at that. That's bizarre. I think I changed this on the other one too, but I'll take a look. So let's see. We're going to want to see the AE bullet. So I can put a stop in there and make sure that it's actually spawning it. And seeing what goes wrong there. So let's put a mark here. But it looks like, yeah, the transform for where to spawn the bullet wasn't being set correctly. And it's probably because, let me move it back on screen so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. This is probably from back when it was still being used for the ability component. And we're not doing that anymore. So what we're going to be doing is bring this in. We're going to want to basically do what we did before with the, back when we had the bullet in his hand. So we had, actually, I wonder if, because this will spawn him here. Yeah, I can probably spawn him where the bullet goes, and then get socket, transform for rat gun. Because I really just need, well, if I set it on now, I can just copy it right out of here then. So let's break this. The location is fine because the location, well, I think I'll still have to do like, no, yeah, the location's fine. The rotation is going to be the interesting part. We're going to have to do that in there. So we'll leave this like this. So then over here, we can make a transform out of its current transform, or at least 2/3 of it. So we'll get the self, get transform, okay, so we need the get, didn't just give me transform as a setup. Get world transform, get actor transform. That should be sufficient. So we'll get the transform of this guy. We'll break it. The location I already set, and the scale I already set. The rotation is going to be a little different because I'm going to want the rotation of from us to the player, but I don't exactly have us to the player, now do I? Because get target's not going to work, is it? I mean, we'll try it. Get direction. Get direction. I think I need vectors to do that. Let me see. Get direction, get hit direction, get unit direction. So I'd have to get the direction of this location. Get actor's location, plug in, and our location. This should give us a vector, and then we find look at rotation. Oh, sorry, find look at rotation from our starting location to the location of the player or the target. And let's see if this does what I want. I'm worried that get target's not going to function correctly, but I guess we'll find out in a second. Let's actually drop right here so that I'll see it if it goes wrong. Let's move this over. Boom. And play from here. Okay, so we're updating the effect. We'll frame skip. Get target. Yeah, it immediately tells me it didn't find a valid target. So get target under ability AI is not going to work because it's not using the actual ability. Alright, then we will have to do a temporary fix. So let's see if we can do get all actors of class. And we're going to get closest actor. And we'll get that actor's location. Get closest actor to self. Class is combat character. Update effect goes in there. This goes over here. This stuff all runs across the top. Let's see if we get a workable number this time. Update effect, frame skip, step out of this. We did not seem to get a transform that helped. we did. Okay. We got a rotation. Resume. Oh yeah, I don't need to check that anymore. Let's see if it shoots me. Yes and no. It looks like he shot at me, but it didn't hit me. Let's hit resume. Okay. The good news is he's shooting right at me. He's straight shotting me. But I'm not getting a collision. Let's see. Let's compile that. So let's see. We've got it shooting right at us, but now the bullet's not actually hitting us. So let's see. We do still have the collision sphere. Yeah, working on it, definitely. Trying to get a dude to shoot us. You'd be surprised how hard it is to get things to shoot you for some reason. Let's see. Lifetime, 10, that's fine. Set sphere mesh as collision mesh in handler. That should be just fine. I still have the sphere, and I'm still setting it as our collision. Let's see if we can redo this a little bit like we did with the other one. So let's delete that and delete this collision handler thing. Drop that. Compile. This can go away. Compile. And then what we'll do is let's take the collision sphere. I'll move this over so you guys can see what's going on. And welcome back again. That works. So we'll do an on-component overlap. So when the component is overlapped, we're going to take the other actor and we're going to cast it to combat character to see if we hit the character. If we did hit the player character, we do on hit, make a hit result. Let's see, hit component. Oh, here's the hit data. We just plugged that in. I'm out here trying to reinvent the wheel. Okay, so we cast to make sure it's a character, and if it is, we do on hit. And then let's see. Does what we want. I've just been tooling with the way that it shoots and the way that the projectile hits and everything, trying to get it to work out perfectly. I still have this issue here, where I'm definitely getting shot, like in the pelvis, but to no avail, which is not good. So I need to look at the collision sphere and see why it's... Oh, it has no collision, duh. overlap all. That should help. Let's see if that fixes it. I forgot that because it used to have a collision handler that would turn on collision when necessary, and we are not using the handler, we are just having it on from the start. Let's see. Still not getting hit by it though. Interesting. Let's see. Bullet. What if we don't do that and we instead do the begin overlap? Let's do that one instead. It might just not like the hit one for some reason. Yeah, but hit gives me a hit though, and I kind of need that. Let's see if this is actually firing at all. Drag it over, compile. Let's see if it does it. Okay, so it doesn't seem to be causing that to happen. So it's spawning the bullet, setting the velocity. It's got a destroy actor time on it, yeah. But the on hit is never happening. Let's see. Our collision sphere. Generate overlap, yes. Overlap all, yes. And I've got this running on... Oh, that's probably why. Let's set this to a custom collision where we overlap everything except we want to... We're going to want it to collide with the player, that's the thing. So let's try that one. Nope. Yeah, trying to figure out how to kill the character. Trying to get this guy's bullet attack here to actually hit us, because for some reason it doesn't want to. Collision enabled, yes. World static. Block pawns, yes. Overlap everything else. Sounds good. Interesting that it's just not hitting us. That's so weird. Let's try it again with this. So weird. Why would it be missing our player? That's so bizarre. Yeah, it's really bizarre that it's not hitting the player. Like, it's interesting. And, you know, I don't often use component hit. I usually use something like overlap. But it's weird that it wouldn't actually hit, though. Let me try using overlap, I guess. I could probably get some information out of the sweep result to make a hit. Let's see. Let's make a hit result and let's expand it out into a full thing. Bring this over. So what we'll do is when we have an overlap, if the overlapping actor is a player character, then we hit them. Now we'll have to fill in as much as we can out of this. Let's see if I can break the sweep result and make basically a hit out of it. Oh, I can. It basically is a hit. Awesome. So hopefully that should give us enough information for the hit to function. Let's see if this works. We'll break point right here just to see if it catches that collision as an overlap event. I don't get how it's not overlapping. It's clearly going right through me. Let's try this. Nope, so that's still not doing it. So the collision sphere it's definitely yeah, it's bizarre because it's definitely shooting, it's definitely going right through me. Like it's shooting straight through my torso here. So how is that not hitting? Oops, let me go look at... So let's go look at something else that uses this mechanic. So let's go look at like the throwing knives. So the throwing knife projectile also does like a hit, but I think it does... Let me see. Event graph. So this still uses the on hit for the collision handler. Guess I could try going back to setting that up, but that's so weird that what's this thing's default set? Oh, the actual knife is the actual mesh that's being used, and it's blocking all dynamic. But we're still setting the collision sphere as the collision. So... yeah, let's try moving it over, I guess. That's really bizarre, though, because it's still... let's see. But there's the projectile, event graph. Just drop this in and put it here. Kill that. Grab this. Plug that. Plug this. Not even. Doesn't need that anymore. Plug this straight in. Move these over and then destroy actor after it does the on hit. Let's compile and see what it does. Oh, it's going to yell at me because it doesn't have a collision handler. Collision handler component. There we go. Boom. One, two, this can go away, this can come in. Compile. Okay, let's go. I see another difference. Let me see if this will make a difference. Go look at my sphere again. Yeah, that could have possibly been what it is, but I guess we'll find out in a second. There's a scene component that controls the entire thing that I didn't have on. I had the knife and everything attached to a scene in the knife, and here I do not have that happening. So because the root itself was the projectile, a lot of times if the root of the main root can't be like really edited or changed because it's static. So sometimes that causes these kinds of problems, and that might have been what was going wrong. Hopefully. I guess we'll find out. No, still getting not shot. So that's still the same. Class defaults, or class settings, I suppose. The base scene is set up the same way. The collision sphere underneath. No and no collision. No collision. Generate overlap, yes. Simulate generates, no. No collision world static. 3 on the left, all the rest on the right, yep. Let's add what do I want to put here? Let's just add another sphere. Let's add a component and we'll do a sphere. Just like a regular sphere. Oops, I don't need it on here. What am I doing? Actually, no, yeah, I do. Stack them like this. Collision sphere set up like it was. Let's set the sphere up like the knife. Yes, block all dynamic. Sure. Cool, looks like it's got the same setup. Let's try it. A lot bigger bullets. Okay, but they're still not hitting me. That's so bizarre. The knife sets the sphere as the mesh. That might be... No, it shouldn't be a problem, but I guess we'll find out. The on hit for the collision handler was actually, I copied it over from the other object, but it has a different name, so I don't think it was catching. And that might just be all it was. Okay, well the good news is we're getting hit. But it's unable to tell if we're an enemy. So it looks like we're getting hit, but we're not able to detect if we're an enemy correctly. Now, why are we not able to tell if we're an enemy? Is enemy gets the... Well, let's run this. See what it says. Probably because I don't have an owner set. That might be causing a problem. Oh, it's not even getting to the check. Let's see. Now let's try it. Show me what we're gonna do for breakpoint here. Bang. Is enemy. So we'll frame skip ahead. Let's look together here. It's gonna jump that is invalid. It's gonna get the owner of the ability, which probably is set to nothing, right? So the projectile doesn't have an owner, and it needs to have the rat as the owner. So the owner of the projectile, so I need to make sure that's getting set first. So I need to go look at the ability and make sure when it spawns it gives an owner. So the owner, let's just check and see if it puts the rat in as the owner here. Because if it does, then I should be able to... I don't need this anymore. So when this starts, the owner of this should be the... Oh, it should set it to the rat. Well, I guess we'll find out. Let's move this back over and let's try again. Okay. So it's spawning. The transform is set. So the ability bullet doesn't have an owner. The ability itself. So the notify needs to actually designate an owner. Man, so I did need that notify open. AN projectile. Aha, owner here is blank. So what I need to do is I need to take the mesh, get owner, and plug that into owner. And I'm going to check and breakpoint here and make sure that it puts the rat as the owner here. Let's see, play from here. Yep, Coda Gunner 2 is the owner of the bullet. So when bullet says get owner, which we'll do here, the rat is now the owner of the bullet as well. So for is enemy, this shouldn't have a problem anymore because the owner was the rat. The owner was not the rat. So what went wrong there? Okay, no, we're good. I just took damage. Cool, so all these breakpoints can go away. Resume, resume, resume. Alright, so that can go away. I am going to have to tell him to cool it with that giant bullet, though. That's a problem. So the giant bullets need to go away. Boom, boom, or bang. This time it's bullets. So let me just start by tweaking the bullet, and then I'll go breakpoint and see how much damage it's doing, because it looked like it didn't do any damage to me. But that could easily just be that he doesn't have any finesse stat, and since it's using finesse as the weapon type, it's calculating damage and probably doing 0 to me. Let's see, ability bullet, bullet projectile, what do I need? I need the bullet projectile. We're going to drag that in, and we're going to go to the viewport. We're going to take the sphere here, MI floor metal, but that's hidden in game, so we'll set this to metal. The MI floor metal is a good one. And then we're going to scale it down. Oops. I want the entire thing, and I definitely need it more than that. Probably too small? Yeah, too small. Not bad. Might be a little big still, but we'll take a look. Let's see. And now that that's set, let's go look at the on hit, and let's see what... Let's go into the get damage, and we'll breakpoint at the very end where it tells me what damage is being put out. And then I can actually look at the math and see like what their stats, my stats, etc. Because it looks like my character's taking the hit and stunning, but it looks like they're taking 0 damage. Or if they're taking damage, it's such a small amount that I'm not actually seeing anything. Okay, damage out currently is... Yeah, it's doing no damage. It's getting clamped. It's negative 110, which means my defensive values are better than his offensive values. This has happened before. We've had enemies where we didn't set their... Yeah, like his finesse damage out is 0. Because he's got brawn damage on. So his brawn damage out... I mean, his brawn isn't high enough to hurt me either right now. But if I tune his finesse damage up, he's doing 1.0 multiplier, so he's doing the exact amount. My finesse defense is 110. So if I just shortcut him with a base amount of, let's say, for this one in particular, let me see if I can find his stats in here. Mesh, XP on death, all that fun stuff, constraints. Render static, nope. It should be on the gunner. Where's his stats? Stats manager. So in the stats manager, I don't think they're editable from here though. I'll have to set all the Coda gunners to have a base value. Let's go grab his stat thing from here. Stats manager. Alright. So I need to change 2 of them because I need... So let's expand all of them. I need him to have a high finesse base value because the damage is built off of that. So for his base value... I want to say 6 was close to 100-ish. Let's just put 12. And see if he just immediately wrecks me or something. Worst case, that's what he does, and it's not the end of the world. It'll still pop up and tell me how much damage he's doing and everything, so we'll see what it does. Alright, let's go look at some math. Come look at math with me. So, his finesse damage now, it's still 0, huh? That's interesting. He should have had a value set. Let me go take a look. Maybe it zeroed out his finesse because of something, in which case maybe just putting 100 in the 150 in the damage will do the trick. Shoot me again. Okay, so his damage is just a raw number, that's right. So they don't use like the full stats like we do. So his finesse damage is 150, his multiplier is 1, my defense is 110, the damage out is 40, so the damage out should be 40. Yep, looks like it's going to hit me for 40, so if I go back and hit resume, I should take some damage this time. Yeah, oh yeah. Cool. Well, again, the way that it calculates damage is something we can always work on later. We can change that to maybe not be finesse and just do a base value or percentage of health or something. Probably wouldn't make sense to do percentage of health because then you'd never die to it. But we can always see if maybe they work off brawn and finesse or whatever we want to do with it. Mechanically, it's working, which is nice. We just got to figure out why he doesn't like to draw his weapon, which is interesting. But at the very least, he now has the ability to shoot me. For a lot, actually. He hurts. Let's see. Let's play from here. I just need to make sure the take damage thing should still trigger anytime anything deals damage to anything. So I'm going to have it bring me back to that page right here so I can disable it. Because I don't need to be told every time anything damages anything anymore. Awesome. Nope. I'm not back over here. Here we go. Bullets are a little big, I think, still. Just a little big. Ow. That hurt really bad. That's right. I forgot he can, like, 3-shot me now. I'm going to just tone that bullet size down just a little more from 0.25 to 0.2 or so. It just shouldn't be quite the size that it is, but I think that looks pretty good for now. And again, that's a minor tweak to adjust the size of that bullet, so not a problem. Alright, let's hit save all and everything. So our rat gunner now has the ability to shoot at us. He does kind of break the laws of physics by not drawing his gun and just kind of kamehameha-ing bullets out of his wrists, but that's okay. We're okay with that. We're not going to judge him for that. Alright. Let's go into source control and get this all saved off so we can call it a night. What do we got here? What did we tweak? Created files for bullet, projectile, functionality, and then we modified the Coda Gunner behavior tree to utilize shooting as a light attack. And that's pretty much everything, I think. Let me see. We did make a bunch of new files and tweak a few of them along the way, but it was mostly just setting that up. Made a couple of new tree nodes, made a couple of new notifies. Okay. Looks good. We'll submit that. All right, cool. So everything's saved off. Looks like we're good. So we're going to call it a night here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for lurking. Thanks for sticking around. If you stuck around, if you lurked, we appreciate it anyway. And being that tonight is Thursday, this is my last one for this week. So we will be doing tomorrow on Friday, I believe, is Allie will be doing her stream. She should be doing some rigging stuff or some Dark Souls stuff or a combination. We will be doing another devlog coming up next week. That'll be over at the website, so astralclocktowerstudios.com has our website with our devlogs. Our lore is all posted up there if you haven't checked it out. A lot of cool story to this game. Devlogs are always great, packed with like videos and screenshots of what we're working on. So if you can't catch the entire thing, like all the streams and everything, it's all packed into there. And then if you check us out we're on Instagram and TikTok. We've got funny cuts of our bloopers, like me working at a butt factory, or me getting clapped by doors, or I feel like a lot of it is me playtesting and then getting killed by stuff, or getting surprise attacked by the mage and blown up. It's funny stuff. Instagram has that, TikTok has that. We tweet, we Facebook. Both of those where we do updates on our characters. We can see the rigs, the models, all kinds of things like that. So feel free to check us out on any of the social media. And then if you are watching on Twitch or on Facebook, we are on both. So feel free to go follow us on the other one if you're not already there. And then our videos also end up on the YouTube as well sometimes. So we've got plenty of content, plenty of social media for you guys to check out. And in the meantime, we'll catch you guys in the next stream. Tomorrow would be Allie. I will be back next Wednesday. Tiff will be back. I believe it's Monday for her. Yeah, I think so. Schedule's posted. I'm the funniest of us. I feel like it's mostly like me getting like killed or making like programming mistakes that cause funny deaths or funny glitches. But hey, if it works, right? Pays the bills. All right. Take it easy. We'll see you guys in the next one.